There is a strange mathematical glitch happening in modern relationships where a man can give 100% of his effort, his money, and his time, yet he is told he is only doing the bare minimum. Behavioral observations suggest that we are living in an era of perpetual discontentment. You are working 2 jobs, keeping the house running, and staying loyal, but when you look at her, all you see is a face that says, "I deserve more than this." You are the victim of the goalpost shift. Every time you reach a new level of success or provide a new comfort, the requirement for her happiness moves just 1 inch out of your reach. You are witnessing a psychological phenomenon where she is comparing your real-life effort to a digital fantasy she sees on her phone. You are the victim of the comparison poison. She has been conditioned to believe that her mere presence is a gift that requires a constant stream of payments, upgrades, and sacrifices from you, while her contribution to the union remains stagnant or declines. Today, we are breaking down the brutal truth behind entitlement inflation. We are looking at the consumption-based identity, the erosion of gratitude, and why giving more to a woman who doesn't appreciate the little things is like pouring water into a bucket with no bottom. If you don't stay until the very end of this video, you will spend the rest of your life trying to fill a hole that was never meant to be closed. Recent behavioral data suggests that the more a man provides without setting boundaries, the less his partner values the provision. Eventually, your sacrifice doesn't earn you love, it only earns you a higher bill to pay next month. This channel is for men who reject control, resist distraction, and refuse to break. If that's you, you belong here. A lady told me men today have lost their standards, no longer have the focus, discipline, or backbone to stand together. I didn't respond with words. I built this brotherhood instead. This channel was created to challenge that assumption. Every man who subscribes is evidence that strength and self-respect are still alive. Most men will watch this and still go back to their old self. This channel is for the few who won't. If you value truth, control your impulses, and know your worth, don't leave. Subscribe, support the video, and leave a comment so I know you're serious. If you're ready to move differently from the rest, stay, because you are at the right place. We have to look at the psychology of the invisible provider. You see, brothers, when you do your job well, it becomes invisible. The bills are paid, the car is running, and the roof doesn't leak. Behavioral patterns show that once a comfort becomes guaranteed, it stops being a benefit and starts being an expectation. You are the victim of the routine devaluation. She doesn't see the sweat it took to earn the money. She only sees the lack of the next thing she wants. When she says, "I deserve to be treated like a queen," she usually forgets that a queen's primary role was to ensure the stability and loyalty of the kingdom alongside the king. You are being symbolically manipulated. She wants the crown without the duty. This leads us to the narcissistic creep. This isn't about clinical narcissism, but a social conditioning that tells women they are the main character and you are the supporting cast. You are the victim of the scripted inequality. Your needs for peace, for respect, for intimacy are treated as negotiable, while her needs for travel, luxury, and attention are treated as human rights. The most painful part is the weaponization of the mistake. Notice how if you ever fail to meet one of these high demands, she treats it like a personal attack. If the vacation isn't fancy enough or the gift isn't the right brand, she doesn't see a man trying his best, she sees a man who doesn't care. Behavioral observations suggest that she uses disappointment as a control mechanism. You are being conditioned through guilt. You find yourself working harder and harder, not because you're inspired, but because you're afraid of the cold shoulder that comes when you don't deliver. You are a victim of the performance-based love.
I want to tell you about a man named Julian. Julian was a successful contractor. He was a provider in every sense of the word. He married a woman named Vanessa. In the beginning, Vanessa was grateful for everything. But as Julian's business grew, so did Vanessa's list. She wanted a bigger house, then a better zip code, then a specific circle of friends. Julian worked 14-hour days to make it happen. Julian was the loser in this story because he bought into the investment fallacy. He thought that if he just gave her the life of her dreams, she would finally relax and be the loving, soft woman he remembered. He was the victim of the endless upgrade. One night, Julian came home exhausted, covered in dust, and asked for a simple dinner. Vanessa didn't even look up from her phone. She told him she was stressed from picking out new curtains and that he should just order something. She felt she deserved a chef because her status had changed, even though Julian was the one doing the work. Julian failed because he never set a ceiling on his giving. He let her believe that his labor was an infinite resource. He ended up being a wallet with legs in his own home. He lost his health and his self-respect because he was trying to satisfy a woman who was looking at Instagram billionaires and blaming Julian for not being one of them. He was the victim of the comparative deficit. You have to recognize the behavioral baseline of the content woman. A woman who truly values you will protect your resources, not drain them. She will see your exhaustion and want to provide peace as her contribution. Behavioral observations show that entitlement is a fire. The more you feed it, the bigger it gets. If she feels she deserves the world while giving you conflict, she is not a partner, she is a consumer. You are the victim of the relational trade deficit. This leads us to the intimacy embargo. Have you noticed that as her demands for more go up, her willingness to provide connection goes down? Behavioral observations suggest that she uses her affection as a currency to be traded for goods and services. You are being economically extorted in your own bedroom. You are the victim of the pay-to-play dynamic. A man with no standards will keep paying the price, hoping the service improves. But a sovereign man knows that you cannot buy real desire with material objects. The final stage of this first section is understanding the biological toll of the unappreciated provider. When a man works hard and receives contempt instead of gratitude, his cortisol levels stay permanently high. You feel old before your time. You are being physically depleted by a parasite disguised as a partner. You are the victim of the stress of the unseen. You have to realize that you are not a utility. You are a human being who requires reciprocity to survive. You have to stop asking why she wants more and start asking what she is actually bringing to the table besides an empty plate. There is a cold, hard, psychological truth that most men are too afraid to face. You cannot provide your way into being respected by a woman who has already decided you are a utility. Behavioral observations suggest that when a man increases his output to meet an entitled woman's demands, he isn't saving the relationship, he is financing his own disrespect. You think that the next promotion, the next car, or the next expensive dinner will finally be the key that unlocks her gratitude, but you're the victim of the hedonic treadmill of entitlement. The more you give, the more the baseline shifts. Yesterday's luxury becomes today's standard and tomorrow's bare minimum. You're witnessing a psychological phenomenon where she has decoupled your value from your effort. You're the victim of the effort-value disconnect. She views your labor as a natural resource like air or water, something that should just be there for her to consume without her having to offer anything in return. Today, we are finishing the breakdown of the entitlement trap. We are looking at the science of the social comparison loop, the psychology of the resource drain, and the mastery of the sovereign withdrawal. If you don't stay until the very last word of this video, you will spend your life as a provider for a woman who would replace you the second your deposit bounces. We have to talk about the science of the social comparison loop. You see, brothers, her entitlement doesn't exist in a vacuum. Behavioral patterns show that her expectations are being constantly calibrated by a digital world that doesn't reflect reality. When she looks at her phone, her brain processes the lifestyle of a multimillionaire as the standard she deserves. You are being digitally displaced.
She isn't comparing you to the man next door. She is comparing you to a curated, filtered fantasy. This leads us to the emotional debt trap. She begins to feel that you owe her the life she sees on her screen. You are the victim of the phantom debt. You are being held responsible for a bill you never signed for. Behavioral observation suggests that she starts to treat you with contempt because your real-world provision cannot compete with digital perfection. You are the victim of the contemptuous comparison. This brings us to the psychology of the resource drain. Notice how she never asks how the work is affecting you. She only asks when the result of that work will be available for her to spend. You are being objectified as a producer. You have become a human ATM. Behavioral patterns suggest that when a woman stops seeing her man as a person and starts seeing him as a path to a lifestyle, her empathy for him evaporates. You are the victim of the empathy drought. I want to tell you about a man named Leon. Leon was a disciplined engineer who lived a modest, high-quality life. He met a woman named Sarah. Sarah was beautiful, but she was obsessed with status. Early in the relationship, Sarah started dropping hints that Leon's reliable sedan wasn't up to her standards for arriving at events. She told him she deserved to be in a luxury vehicle. Leon was the winner in this story because he chose the sovereign withdrawal. Leon didn't argue. He didn't try to explain the math of his investments. Instead, he performed a test of character. He told Sarah he was going through a lean period at work and would be cutting back on all luxury spending. No more high-end dinners, no more weekend getaways, for at least 6 months.
He witnessed the entitlement collapse. Within 3 weeks, Sarah's love turned into irritability. Within a month, she was too busy to see him. She revealed that her affection was a variable expense. It only existed as long as the revenue was high. Leon was the victim of the conditional connection, but he won because he found out the truth before he signed a marriage license or a mortgage. He didn't lose a partner, he lost a liability. He realized that a woman who only loves what you do will never love who you are. He won because he valued his financial peace more than her conditional presence. You have to recognize the biological signal of the parasitic drain. This is a biological reality. A man is hardwired to build, but a man cannot build a kingdom if he is constantly being bled dry by a vampire in the castle. Behavioral observations show that men in lopsided relationships have lower cognitive function and higher rates of burnout. You are being biologically sabotaged. You are the victim of the resource depletion syndrome. The winner's protocol is about the sovereignty of the reciprocal standard. You have to stop being a giver and start being an investor. An investor looks for a return. In a relationship, that return is peace, support, intimacy, and loyalty. If she is deserving of your 100%, she must be providing her 100%. Behavioral patterns suggest that if you don't demand reciprocity, you are telling her that your life has no value. You are being hardened for the truth. You are the sovereign man. You recognize that entitlement is the death of Eros. You are being reforged. You now know that you are the prize. Your labor, your protection, and your focus are the most valuable things you own. You are the master of your own psychology. You don't need to fix her entitlement. You just need to close the account. You are the sovereign man. You are the master of your own destiny. You don't look back at the bills you paid for a woman who didn't appreciate you. You look forward at the wealth you will build when you find a woman who sees your effort as a miracle, not a requirement. So here is the smart question for the brotherhood today. If you took away everything you provide, the money,
the security, the house, and the status, would she still have a reason to stay in the room with you? I want to hear from the men who finally stopped the flow. What happened when you told her no to the next big demand? Did she step up and support you, or did she show you her exit strategy? For the brothers who feel like they are working for a boss instead of living with a wife, how much longer are you going to fund a lifestyle for someone who doesn't respect the man paying for it? Drop your experience in the comments. Your story could be the wake-up call another brother needs to stop being a utility and start being a man. This channel is for men who no longer confuse loyalty with self-destruction. If you're done carrying consequences that were never yours, don't fade out. Lock in. Subscribe, support the mission, and leave your perspective below. We're sharpening awareness here, and this is only phase 1. See you next time. Stay alert, stay unbothered, stay grounded.